Is your spiritual journey actually your neurodivergence unmasking? Well, let's see what this lady has to say about it.
Has anyone else noticed the correlation between people waking up spiritually and also being late diagnosed neurodivergent? I've really been sitting with this for a couple days and I don't believe it's a coincidence. If you've been feeling different your whole life and then suddenly everything is starting to click, keep watching this. So, a spiritual awakening makes you start questioning everything, right? Why things never felt right, why you struggle to fit in, why you've always been in survival mode. At the same time, many people who are getting late diagnosed are starting to come to the realization that they were never broken, they're just different. It's like pulling back.
Yeah, I'm actually glad she said that because I'm neurodivergent. I was diagnosed with ADHD, bipolar, and schizophrenia, and it wasn't late. Well, I guess it depends on your definition of late. I was a teenager, but I do understand what she's saying. At first, you think there's something wrong with you because you think differently, especially when you're in school and when you're in those types of environments, and you realize like you just always so focused on the idea that you think different, you move different, you behave different than everybody else. You think there's something wrong with you, but the older I got, the more I realized that it's not so much that there's something wrong with me. It's more so that I just think different, and you have to embrace the different. You have to find a way to use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? Different isn't always bad. Different isn't always bad.
Back a veil and seeing that so many of the things that you were told were flaws were actually just the way that your brain and your spirit was designed to be. You realize how much you've masked and adapted and tried to force yourself to fit into a world that's just not designed for you. Both awakenings, in my opinion, reveal the same truth, which is basically that the system was not built for us. Neurodivergent people are expected to operate in a way that does not come naturally to them, forcing structure, suppressing creativity, ignoring your sensory needs. And spiritually awakened people start noticing how society is designed to keep them asleep, trapped in cycles of burnout, people pleasing, survival. Both awakenings come to the same realization. You were conditioned to believe that something was wrong with you when the reality is you are just different. And another thing I realized too is that neurodivergent people get sensory overloads the same way that spiritual people get energetic overloads. Picking up on people's vibe, needing more alone time, feeling drained and chaotic.
I will say she said something um, a second ago, and it got me thinking. So the difference between, I guess, my neurodivergent experience and my spiritual experience is, although my neurodivergent experience made me feel different, but my spiritual difference makes me feel one. If that makes any sense. I guess the only part where I disagree with what she's saying, at least from my personal experience, my neurodivergence definitely isolates me. I feel like separates me from the pack, ostracizes me. I guess if you want to say it like that. But in my spirituality, I see the oneness of all things. So that's a paradox, and that actually has a lot to do with why I wrote this book, The Human Paradox. That paradox, exactly, between the limited humanity and the infinite spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's go on with the rest of this video.
Environments. I really feel like this is why so many neurodivergent people are deeply intuitive and spiritually gifted. And no shade to anyone who isn't neurodivergent, but I just don't believe that they possess that gift. Our heightened awareness, it extends beyond the physical. Like if you've always felt that you absorb people's emotions and you feel things very deeply, you're very sensitive to your environment, that you might be experiencing both. Before awakening, you probably overgave, overworked, overextended yourself just to be good enough. Stayed in friendships, jobs, routines, and just so many things that drained your energy just because you felt like that's what you were supposed to do. But once you wake up spiritually and you start setting boundaries, you stop forcing yourself to be in spaces that don't align with you. You can no longer tolerate environments that don't support your natural rhythm. And both awakenings lead to the same conclusion. You were never broken, you were just in the wrong environment. You start unlearning the guilt and the shame that was placed on you for being different, and you begin to reconnect with your true self, your natural creativity, your intuition, just your way of existing in the world. And the deeper you awaken and the more you unmask, you start to choose yourself, even if it means completely letting go of the old version of you that was just built for survival. So if that resonates with you, you're not crazy. You're waking up. So yeah, that's what's been on my brain. But y'all let me know what you think.
That was a good video. So yeah, I definitely can relate to that video. I will say, with embracing my neurodivergence and stepping deeper into my spirituality, um, I have learned to set boundaries, and I have learned to let things go. It is weird. It is actually weird that she said that, you know, both things happening at the same time. I think there is an unmasking of my neurodivergence happening where I'm just like, you know, fuck it. I accept it. I know what's going on, rather than fight it, rather than, sorry, um, rather than fight it and be at war with myself, learn how to embrace that side of me. You know what I mean? And the same thing with the spiritual awakening. There was a time when I used to try to argue and try to prove my point and go out of my way to convince people that my truth is the truth, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. Um, I'm real chill. I keep to myself, and you know, I've learned how to let go. I've learned how to let go of the expectations that society put on me. I learned how to let go of the expectations of other people, and I'm just focusing on trying to become who I'm supposed to be and love myself and grow, and just grow every day. Just try and grow into who I'm supposed to be naturally, because I feel like for so long I tried to fit in a way that I couldn't, and it was really damaging to my mind, body, and spirit. So now I'm just trying to get in where I fit in and go with the flow. But anyways, that's all I got. If you have any experience with this, with the uh, neurodivergent unmasking and the spiritual awakening, let me know what your experiences are and leave them in the comments. And oh yeah, don't forget to check out my book, this one. And I don't know if you can see it, but this is supposed to be facing up. That one too. I got a link in the description. Make sure you check it out. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.